Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 52 of the Tait Talks podcast. I'm the host, Tait Middleton. Today I have a very special guest in Joel Fleming. Thank you for coming.
Great to be here, Tait, for episode number 52.
Yes, we're slowly getting towards 100.
That's right.
Now, you're a very unique guest. This is the first time I've had probably someone who's been here because they've been ill. Instead of comedians and things like that. You had cancer.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
But first, what I want to get to is this is not a woe is me story.
Yes.
This is, as you'll hear, this is all about how you can turn a negative into a positive.
Yep.
And I'll probably sound a bit ridiculous and Anthony Robbins like, but no, this is all real and that. Because I'm quite, at heart, a bit of a skeptical, probably. Yeah. Things change and you start to see the positives as you come through things. So right now, when you introduce me, I'm ill. Today I'm pretty good.
Yeah, well, that is a great way to put it though, because obviously you can dwell on that type of stuff. I've never been through anything like that in my life, but you went through a pretty shitty time. So what actually happened?
Okay, so it's now 2023.
Yep.
I got diagnosed with cancer in 2012, March 2012.
Yep.
So I was 31 back then. You're not expecting that. And we were just chatting a bit off air. Like, leading up to that, I was in a bad way for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds insane, like I was in a really bad way. Why would you not go to the doctor?
Mm.
But I'd really not been to a GP at all throughout my 20s because nothing really goes wrong.
Yeah, you just sort of was everyday life.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what I would say to anyone, and I do in life, if you can have a regular GP and go see them, because if I did have a regular GP, they'd probably go get some tests. It would have got picked up earlier. So I don't know exactly when the cancer could have been picked up, but I can realise, and just family saying you were in a bad way for a long time.
Yeah, in hindsight.
And it's insane because you're thinking there must have been something wrong with you, but you just sort of put it out because you're young, you're 31, you think nothing's wrong, you just think, whatever.
They always do say, after 30 it turns pear-shaped.
Oh, it did.
So you're just like, that's just getting older.
Oh, it literally was. I remember my 30th birthday, and that was, I was feeling dodgy. That's how I can sort of think back. So I just turned 31 when I got diagnosed. But I remember back to my 30th birthday, I was just languid and having trouble back then. So it could legitimately be a year. I could have gotten it earlier.
What were the actual issues, if you don't mind me asking?
So I had, when I found out, I was living by myself at that point for a while. So it's probably the worst time to be living by yourself because I just had a job, turning up, going to work, struggling to get through, falling asleep at work, coming home, falling asleep on the train, making it home.
Yeah.
Some funny stories, like, because I was living in Frankston at the time, so you could fall asleep and not miss your stop because you would just fall asleep. Here at Frankston, and someone would kick you off the train. And I was not doing anything. I was just, living, getting home, eating, falling asleep, getting up the next day, go to work, and they probably thought, this guy, what's he doing? But no, I was just like that for a while, and it wasn't until the way things worked out, I moved in with my brother.
Yeah.
And he just like, you are screwed up. You are not good.
Oh, so he just could tell from you and knowing you that you were different.
Yeah, and even when I was awake, I just wasn't right. Anyone could tell, but especially your brother who's known you your whole life.
Yeah.
Could tell you were just not right. So if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have, because it had been so long, he encouraged me to get to a doctor.
Yeah.
And I did. And cut a long story short, I didn't know much about the medical system, just turned up to a GP, Casey Hospital, ended up having a scan, a PET scan, and coming back, it looks like, what's that game Operation, where you see that little man? Yeah, so it's like a little thing of the man, and just see the yellow dots are where the cancer is, and just seeing around the chest, cancer there, boom, 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 like drawing the dots, like everywhere.
Yeah.
Now that's not good. Probably going to have to do chemo. And they're like, yes, you're going to have to do chemo. So, no fun at all.
Yeah, that's... When they said that to you, like, you have cancer, you're in there by yourself?
My mum was with me at the time, because I was down that way and she was there, and we were just like in hospital like all overnight. So it's sort of I could tell something was up. We'll run in tests, and she sort of came down, and But the interesting thing was, looking back, I was so matter of fact about it, like hearing that. my reaction was just like similar to how I am now. It's just like, all right, how do I
Really?
deal with this? Yeah, exactly. It's you think there'd be some massive reaction, but no, it's
Yeah, the ads on TV are always people crying or a family member bawling, and they're just staring off into like
I know.
space, being like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
what's going on?"
I think it may have been cracking jokes as well.
Right.
Cancer?
Yeah,
That's not good.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, that's not good. Don't want to be having that. But it was very to the point. You've got to, we refer you to an oncologist to come in to the hospital.
Yep.
Going to Monash, finding an oncologist, and this is what we're going to do. This is the way forward. But before that, there was a lot of tests I had to undertake, a lot of baseline tests like hearing, all that sort of thing.
Do you know the rationale behind hearing and
What it is,
seeing and stuff?
chemo's very strong. It's a dangerous drug, but it's the lesser of two evils. If you don't have it, you're going to die. So they've got to put all that poison into you,
Yeah.
and it can affect your eyesight, it can affect your hearing. So I had all the eye test, the ear test, lung function test, because I think if you hit just to see where you're at, and certain drugs, they're going to be bad for you, and I suppose all my hearing, it was all good.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we can afford to,
We can afford to fuck it up a bit.
Yeah, afford to fuck it up a bit. I don't know what would happen if I had like bad hearing. Are they like, well, we won't give you the life-saving drug? Well, I don't know.
Surely.
Yeah.
It's like, you won't hear the cancer coming.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. We don't want to fucking ruin your hearing.
Yeah.
So we're going to let you die of cancer. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, I suppose.
But you'll be able to hear.
Yeah, that's right.
You'll be able to hear people crying.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
So there's a lot of tests I had to book, bring up, and I suppose I got to the front. You need to get this done before you start. He goes, we want to start you by next Monday, so for the next week you can get all this sorted out.
Yep.
Probably mention that you're having chemotherapy. They'll probably put you at the front of the queue, and they did.
Yeah.
They did, yeah.
That's nice.
yeah. So they all got me in. So I was just organising that. At a stage, you were feeling pretty tired, and yeah.
I guess you were sort of tired the whole way through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then have to administer chemo. So you go to the doctors, you find out you've got cancer. Did you say, is it oncology? Is that
oncology?
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
And then they do your hearing test, eye test to figure out if they can fuck them up more.
Yeah.
And then you
lung function and a few things like that.
Yeah. And then you start chemo.
Yeah.
What happens when you start chemo?
I remember, like I'll be honest, that was a dark day because you know what you're in for.
Yeah.
And you were just, this is what you realise in life. You realise you're powerless as fuck in life. Like, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, once you get crook.
Yeah. Like, you're like 31, you've had a pretty good run. You always feel bulletproof.
You've never been sick before this?
God, nothing like that.
Nothing major.
Issues, but
yeah.
The thing was, it's like, you know what you're in for with chemo? Well, you don't, but you know it's not going to be good. But the other option is certain death. It's literally certain death. And just how morbid it was, just on a very, grey winter's day, just going in. Almost like you just want to go home, but you can't, and you were just powerless as fuck.
So you go in, chemo, you go in and then do you leave? Or do you stay in the hospital?
Well, that was the thing. I'm going, well, can I go home at night? Because I don't like the idea of hospitals or staying in hospital, but had no fucking choice about that, But I thought, nah, he goes, you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to be on, what's the point? You'd have to go home, come back the next day. These are going to be long days of chemo. And as it turned out, I used to time everything and keep a journal just to keep my mind occupied.
Yeah.
Some days were 15 hours on the drip. 12
hours?
12 on a good day, yeah, with it in you. It was always constant rotation. Wake me up at 7 o'clock, and that was the hardest. You think it's hard to wake up. We all have those days it's hard to wake up. You have chemo for 15 hours a day. You go to sleep, you don't want to wake up. You got to wake up and do it all again because they've got to start the process 7 o'clock, and you might finish at 10 o'clock that night or so.
How long did this go for, sorry?
About 4 months.
So you were in hospital for 4 months?
Well, you'd come home for a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you just I should mention this too, it's probably a bit late. So obviously I premised, we've met through doing stand-up.
Stand-up, yes.
Yeah, that
I
wanted to get you on to talk about this because you opened up to me about this, but I
never bring it up because this is a positive. I just said, because I used to do stand-up for a bit in 2009.
Yeah.
And suddenly I met Tait starting again in 2023 and go, why do you stop? There's a few reasons, but this sort of got in the way
cancer,
of things.
Yeah. I would lead everything with cancer. If I ever did anything wrong, I would use that forever.
Yeah, and Tait's like, sorry. Like, it was a long time ago, it's all good. And I always make clear, like, I'm okay. Like, I turn things into a positive because here I am. And things are good, and a lot of people don't make it, and I did. Yeah. So I'm grateful for that.
But yeah, I was just going to mention that I did chat to you about saying I don't want to open up any wounds. Sorry. So it's okay for me to ask questions.
It's going to be like GoPro.
Yeah. That's right. There's something under your seat as well. I've got a present for you. It's an empty beer can. But all right. So you're doing chemo. It takes about 4 months, a week off, then back into it, on and off.
Yes, it's weird because I sort of put it out of my mind. Like, it's fine talking about it, but I never really go back and dwell on it. But I think it was you have a week off. I basically go there Monday morning, come back late Friday night.
Yeah.
And this is what I remember when you're talking about tiredness. I remember coming back, staying up to watch, I remember in particular, a Richmond-St Kilda match in Friday night football.
Yep.
And
the Richmond win? You're a Richmond man?
Nah, St Kilda one. This was like 2012.
Fucking bastards.
These were the dark days.
Yeah, you were both going through it.
Yeah,
Richmond had a fucking cancer in them too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
these were dark. Yeah, so it could be worse. I always knew that. Yeah, it could be playing for Richmond. But Richmond 2012.
You sort of came good at the same. Oh no, you were.
So
yeah.
That was they hadn't been to the final since like 2001, I think it was.
Yeah, fuck. And who did they lose to then? Carlton.
They beat Carlton in 2000. Here we are. We're just going on the footy cancer.
Sorry.
They beat Carlton in a great semi in 2001. Lost to Brisbane at the Gabba in the prelim.
Yeah, okay.
And Brisbane won the premiership, and they didn't make it again until 2013.
Yeah. Sorry.
And that's the real championship.
Okay. That's where we end the podcast.
Keep things in perspective.
Richmond losing. Sorry. So you were saying you'd stay up at night to watch something?
Yeah, so I remember coming home. I remember just thinking, pumped up for Richmond Friday night footy. Stayed awake. Managed to stay awake to the end. Went to sleep after Friday night footy.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been like 10:30.
Yeah, okay.
I remember waking up and it was 2 o'clock. I'm thinking, gee, I feel fresh waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Right? Because that's like I must have had 4.5 hours sleep. And I realised, fuck, it's 2 o'clock Sunday morning. So I slept from like 10:30 Friday night and just woken up at 2 o'clock Sunday morning. Let's say like 26, 27 hours or something.
Wow, and that's obviously what chemo does.
Yeah, because you're just like, you just want to sleep, you just got to wake up every day. And they say you can sleep when you're having chemo, but they've got to keep changing. You just can't, so you have to keep changing.
They're putting a needle into your arm, aren't they?
Yeah, and I was keeping the fluids up. And what you have to do, you have to measure your urine outtake, and they give you one of those bottles to piss in.
Really?
Yeah, I thought you can do it in bed. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I just got there. It's really hard to do, to get up and you got to carry the drip stuck in you. That's the thing, you've got it stuck in you all the time. You've got to carry the metal thing and walk to the bathroom and keep going in that. And I was drinking a lot of water, which is probably a good thing. And yeah, I was urinating getting about 12 litres of urine out a day.
12 litres?
That's a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
You were, wow.
Well, all the chemo was fluid, and then I was drinking water, heaps of water.
12 litres of urine you would have a day?
Yeah, because you count it, you keep track of it. And that's like that thing that you'd fill up. Sometimes you overfill it sometimes, it'd be overflowing.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a battle, so it's constantly needing to piss, and after you get...
Does it do anything to your dick? Like, does it... Like...
Yeah, mate, yeah.
I couldn't imagine...
I don't know why, that's why it's so big. That's all.
Yeah, okay.
No.
He's a comedian.
No.
You actually got me with that then. I thought it was going to be something real bad, and then I was like, you shouldn't have asked that. And you're like, it's 2 feet long now.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's the drugs.
Yeah. No.
Didn't even have cancer.
No, this is going downhill. My comedy...
Let's bring it back to cancer.
Let's raise the tone. Bring things up. It was a lot. So I remember getting...
Yeah, that's a lot.
Let's say if 9-10 o'clock, you're off the drip, and you're just happy just to get that out of your arm. You're not attached to it.
Yeah, do you...
Then it's like 3 hours of pissing straight up.
Oh, really? Okay.
So So you couldn't go to sleep. So you had to piss all the time.
Oh, so you're not going to bed until like 1 o'clock?
Yeah. So I remember my routine. I was always looking forward.
Yeah.
It's funny. This is what I mentioned before. Someone recently, I was telling someone I knew. They said they knew someone that got cancer. I go, at least you got Wi-Fi these days.
Yeah.
This was 2012. There was Wi-Fi, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a normal thing.
Yeah, I had like a gig of data, or like half a gig on my phone, and I just used that for just browsing Facebook or whatever. They had Wi-Fi in the hospital, but it wasn't that good. I imagine now everywhere they do.
Yep.
And they didn't even have all digital channels.
Really?
They had 7, the original ones, but I was able to tune in. I played around with tuning.
Yeah.
I got 9 Go and Channel 11 Peach. My favourite show in the world, Craig Ferguson, the late show with Craig Ferguson, the Scottish guy with the robot.
Yes, yeah, from Drew Carey show.
Drew Carey.
Yep.
If you haven't seen it, watch that on my YouTube. Just it's very alternative sort of comedy. It was just bizarre. So I looked forward to that all day and stuff, and that was like the one thing that would keep you going. So that show means a lot to me. Watching the Craig Ferguson show after being on the trip all day.
Send this to him.
Yeah, send it. Yeah, so it kept me going. It's like so that meant a lot.
It is crazy how I know you just saying that you look forward to a show that sort of, it seems pretty mundane, it doesn't have that much going on, but then, it can mean so much to you. It
does, and it's just that right thing for the time, so just that bizarre comedy.
Yeah, just a laugh at the end of the night.
Just a laugh, legitimately hilarious, which I already thought it was. I was watching it before then, but it just meant so much, you look forward to it. And funny, because you're not very sharp, but you're going through all that. You're not watching, 3-hour-long movies with a long plot. And there used to be, TMZ. Gossip. They used to be on 9 Go in the afternoon. Just all that.
So you're just up to date with all celebrity gossip.
Yeah, and I actually used to. I love Ferguson, but I used to enjoy that in a way because it was just mindless stuff. I didn't have to concentrate. It was just cracking jokes about celebrities and all that sort of stuff. So I actually enjoyed that. So everything has its place.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of weird that to watch TMZ you have to have cancer.
Yeah, I know. Literally, I know. You need to be suffering. Only then will you realise the genius of TMZ.
Yeah,
and paparazzi.
Yeah. Did you read books and whatnot in the hospital?
No, I couldn't.
You just obviously couldn't focus.
You just.
That's literally what you were telling me.
Yeah.
I can't focus. I'm like, you read books, mate?
Yeah, I know.
I am not good.
Yeah, it's like hyper ADHD.
Yeah.
No. It's really not. It's just you just don't have it in you. You're just not.
Yeah, you're mentally not there.
Yeah, you just wouldn't. Yeah, so it's a lot of sport. I'd be on my phone just following sports, just looking at scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to just baseball scores online just to keep myself entertained.
Yeah.
What's going on during the day, that sort of thing.
So you had those little moments of peace and gold and stuff of, watching a television show or
that
whatever.
1 hour a day, Craig. Seriously, it meant so much to me. It did.
But also too, it meant more to you because the drip was out.
Yeah, well, the drip would come out typically, I'd say on average, probably 9 o'clock at night or something like that. You have to you finally could stop pissing after a while. Then that come on about 11 o'clock on Channel 11. That's 10 Peach now. Yeah, I used to watch that, and that was the one thing, and fall asleep.
Yeah.
They wake up at 7 the next day.
I thought, I've been fortunate enough to not know too many people that have had cancer, but I've never really chatted to someone about the ins and outs of chemo. I never in my wildest dreams thought it was 15, 16 hours having that in you.
What I was told at the time, I think maybe because I was young and my body was able to withstand it, he said, the amount of chemo we're giving you, I give to, that's more than what 98% of people will have.
Oh,
yeah.
Just hated you.
Yeah.
Or he loved you. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, I know. Who knows, It's, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I mean...
It was just a prank, wasn't
it? Yeah. Just hated Richmond supporters.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I know some people go in, they can sort of come home at night, but that was, it had to be there because it was so long. And I realised there's no way you could go home because you just...
Yeah, be fucked.
Fall asleep, come back and do it the next day.
It's just... I suppose you want to be around the people that know what they're doing as well.
And the worst day I was there, I was lucky enough most of the time to have a private room.
Yep.
But I was in a room with 4 people once.
Oh, really?
And the guy next to me, for some reason, I was in the cancer ward, But he had a knee operation, and for some reason he was next to me, and he was fine. And he had like 20 of his relatives visiting. And he was in great spirits. I mean, good for him, but...
Oh, fuck that guy.
I know, yeah.
Prick. Yeah.
You and your knee.
There's the thing, the thumbnail.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
just flipping it off.
Yeah. But yeah, it was hard to deal with. Yeah, that was just dealing. You just want to sort of be alone and just deal with it that way. Like, I didn't let anyone know about it. It's just...
Oh, okay. So you just... Obviously, immediate family knew that you were a crook?
Yeah. What actually happened at the time was... Mum be happy to tell me. She put it online on Facebook that I had cancer. And I don't want people knowing.
Yeah, okay.
So I went on Facebook and I go, I don't have cancer, it was just a scare. And I said, I don't have it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just like really private in that way.
Yeah,
I only talk about this because it's turned out well.
Yeah.
I thought if I die, I don't want anyone knowing. I'm just going to go out and let's find out afterwards.
Yeah. Did you find that? Did people reach out and be like, "Hey, man"? Like
no one knew. So
oh yeah, okay,
no one knew until I never told anyone. It was like literally just like mum, my brother, and I suppose a few other relatives knew, but yeah, I didn't. It's just I just didn't want it, and you're dealing with something in your head you just don't want. Other people. It was just like I wouldn't even want people visiting me. You really wouldn't want it at the point. It was intense. It was intense, man. Man, it was intense. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I honestly am learning a lot from talking to you from this. Like, I know cancer is absolutely fucking horrible, but like just the chemo side of it.
Chemo's worse than the cancer.
Yeah.
Because I was saying for a year I was feeling languid. Like you're feeling tired and pretty dodgy.
Yeah.
But you're not like. But when you have the chemo, it's like I suppose duress or how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Times that by like 100 or 1,000. So. Yeah, I remember watching a documentary on some guy who just didn't have chemo and he died. And it's like, it's understandable.
Yeah, because he just didn't want to go through the...
Yeah, remember there's been some fraudsters that have sort of taken advantage of people and like said, hey, we can cure cancer with a smoothie.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a famous, I won't even mention...
Yeah, don't get sued.
No, right, she's been on 60 Minutes, but yeah, what she would do, she would be like, hey, we can cure cancer with smoothies and healthy eating, and you can really take advantage of people in those low moments. And you see them interviewed, the ones that got sucked in, they're not dumb people. They're just like at their lowest moment, and chemo's so hard, they might have been through a round and it's not responding. This is so hard, they're just going to try anything. So you would love to cure it with a smoothie.
Oh, fuck it.
And smoothies are shit.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of smoothies.
Those green ones. Anyone. I mean, it's a red flag in people.
Yeah. You'd rather chemo than a smoothie.
Yeah, I know. I mean, come on, there's a point. Yeah, but so it is understandable why people don't go through it. But it's sort of like you've got to go through this intent, or you're dead. There's no choice. That's why you just feel so powerless, and that's what you realise as humans. We're just all pawns in this little game, and we can do as much as we can.
I'm pretty sure. Sorry to take it away from you, but Steve Jobs, I'm pretty sure, came out on his deathbed and said, I have all the money in the world and it is useless that I'm sick and I can't do anything with it.
Absolutely.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I think he might have...
Because I was also a billionaire and I had those same thoughts, I'm
that's why...
I know.
It's like...
Here I am worrying about the rich list and competing with Gina Reinhardt. No, I do think about that. Yeah, you really do. Like, you always see people say that, but you think, no, there's really nothing. There's nothing that could help me now. All the money in the world's not going to help my situation.
All of a sudden you're religious.
Yeah.
Just being like, come on, God.
But at the same time, very lucky. This is when I sort of became very aware and very sort of socially aware of such things. How lucky we are to be in Australia.
Yes.
For a start. Because there are some countries... You go into bankruptcy to be able. People have to sell their house to afford that kind of.
Oh, it's America and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's just. I think I told you, I think we were chatting before that. I remember seeing a thing online about a guy who got bitten by a snake, and it cost him like $250,000.
That's about right.
And I remember reading the comments about it, and they're like, "I would rather fucking die."
Yeah,
and it's a snake bite. I know people who've been bitten by snakes in Australia. Yeah. And it's just like the government's like, anti-venom, fine,
Socialism is a great thing. No,
that's the podcast.
It is. No, I think people say that, but it sort of changed my views politically in a way. I was probably a bit right of centre in my views, but then sort of realising just that saved me. And just like, if you actually tell the amount of money, what it cost me, like I did have private health insurance, which covered a lot. And also Medicare, I think the drugs were covered on Medicare. There was one drug I would have, which wasn't the chemo drug, that would be sort of once every Saturday morning I'd get that injection, and that was free. Because I'd reached the safety net by that time, by the time anyway, because you're going through so many. I didn't know anything about Medicare, but once you have like 60 scripts, everything's free, and I've reached that in like 3 days. Yeah, because I think all the chemo comes off your Medicare. So that drug was $2,000 in 2012. I'm getting it for free.
$2,000
$2,000 shot.
And you got that every Saturday?
I've still kept that, so I just want to keep the label.
I thought you meant one shot of it you kept.
Yeah, kept a shot,
in fucking time of need.
But I sold it for $6,000.
Yeah. And now he's going to jail. No. So, you were saying you had the $2,000 shot.
Yeah.
The little sticker of it just to show.
It's about, just to keep that. And I had a few of those. And so $2,000.
Yeah, many of those.
You add that up, I'm thinking the actual cost of the total treatment was probably like, $300,000 or something like that.
You reckon $300,000 for
probably. Well, I think like the private health insurance covered like the nights in hospital.
Yeah.
Actually, the good thing about Australia, whether I had private health insurance or not, I would have still gotten the same treatment. It's just I chose the private, so I was billing the private health insurer as opposed to Medicare for the stay in hospital. And I think that's like $1,000 a night you're in there, something like that.
Oh,
when you
really?
think about it, you're getting 24-hour care.
Yeah, true.
Be more now. It was a lot of money, and I'm thinking, I was actually saying what I was saying about America to a nurse.
Yes.
And there was actually an African nurse there, and she just sort of said, in Africa, you'd be dead, which is the truth.
Oh, if you got cancer, you'd just die.
Not in all of Africa, but there are a lot of places in the world where you imagine.
Well, $300,000, as you said.
Yeah. But you wouldn't even have a chance to pay. I mean, we're lucky. We live in we're so lucky. You got to be mindful. And this makes me realise Australia or a country like Finland or the UK. But I mean, probably 70% of the population are not that lucky. You wouldn't even get picked up. You wouldn't go to a doctor. You just die. Yeah. I mean, there'd be people. That'd be like the old days before chemotherapy, before they could pick anything up. People just get sick and die. Some people get lumps. Sometimes you don't see the lumps, depending on what you have. You wouldn't even know what they died of when it was cancer. So that made me very optimistic about. I had a certain drug. I had 3 drugs, and one of them was not new, but it had been invented in my lifetime.
Yeah, okay.
So anyone that had what I had before that would just die. So it made me very lucky. Like,
jeez.
We're living and going forward. More things will be cured.
Yeah.
So I was sort of makes me sort of positive. Like, you can look, there is a lot of negatives about the current age. There really is, but sure. I think the one
is the best with modern medicine, surely.
Oh yeah, but you look at it from that point, the things we can cure. Yeah, that is a really good thing, And it's when you live that and you go through that, you're really happy and you're sort of very grateful for that. A lot of gratitude. So it changes your perspective on things.
I suppose your perspective in general would change a lot just going throughout cancer, wouldn't it? Like,
unbelievably.
Never judge a book, I guess.
I know, it's like the person I am today, is very different to who I was before. It's like having a second act in life, and it's like having that, being able to have that, and as much as you have to go through, I think I'm better for it. Just, it gave me a profound amount of empathy for other people.
Yeah, for sure.
Because what you realise, people wouldn't realise I'm going through it. There's other people that are going through the same thing, or they've got a close family member.
Yeah.
And they're people that work in the supermarket that are getting yelled at by aggressive customers. So you always realise you don't know what people are going through.
That is very true.
Yeah. And you just have a different perspective. You sort of... I think people tend to like me more now. I don't know, just because of that. I think it comes off and you sort of...
Just a bit calmer and
you care about
understanding.
Just that general gratitude. I remember there was one point in hospital just thinking, you don't know what the odds are with survival and death, but I remember thinking, you have so much anxiety in life. You're thinking about, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I'd be happy just to work the shittest job, whatever that is. Sweep, just anything, and just to live. It's happy, just to live like a basic, the sort of life that people go, this is a shit life, you work a shit job, you stay home, and go, mate, that's better than being dead. That is, and it really is, that is a message I send to anyone. People get too worked up where they are in life. Look, you want to do the best you can do, Mate, if you're just at home on your PlayStation, you've got a shit job or whatever you're doing, it's better than being fucking dead. Because I've stared at that where that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And man, I would take that. I would take the most basic shit life over being dead, because we're all going to die sometime. So while we're here, just you know, that it really changed me. You know, so you have to. I think a lot of people that have been in similar situations.
Yes. Yeah,
where you really face your mortality. I know, like people stuck in rips. You come out thinking of things completely different, you know, like things I take for granted, you know, like you're just happy just to be walking in the park, you know, all that cliche stuff.
Yeah, just to be outside the hospital.
The sunshine, I know.
Yeah, walking around.
And especially when you look back, you know, like I've got a little scar on my arm just from, you know, having the needles in, and it's always that reminder that's always there.
Yeah,
I've been in worse places, you know.
Yeah, true. I just wanted to mention too, like, obviously you just said like you had the scar on your arm from doing the chemo stuff. Any other? Oh, okay, yep, and no hair.
This is an interesting story. Everyone focuses on, like, if you had cancer, do you lose your hair? And this is the interesting thing about it. So they go to chemotherapy on a Monday. Let's say it's probably later in the afternoon that day. I probably started on the drip at, say, 11 a.m.
This is your first time getting chemo?
Yeah, first time.
Okay.
And probably within about, like, I'm talking within half an hour, I noticed the hair starting to fall out of my head.
This is your first time?
Yeah, first time.
And half an hour later your hair's falling out?
I had like a full head of hair, pretty thick. Like
wow.
Yeah.
I once again, I just assumed that was like 2 weeks later or something, not half an hour.
Maybe in some cases. This is why I realised, this is strong stuff, this chemo. It's almost like, you know, how it is like is you've got your follicles, your scalp that is holding onto your hair.
Yep.
Then as soon as that chemo goes in, it just releases it. And that's just falling out and just annoying me, just getting all over the bed. And I just go to the bathroom, I just start pulling it out like this. And you don't feel it, completely painless because it's not being held in for anything. I think I may as well just pull it out rather than just shedding everywhere.
And that was that night?
Just went, yeah, it's like literally like this. So I got a full head of hair, starts coming out, I'm like bang, 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 like this.
Really?
I thought, fucking this looks good.
You do have a decent head for like...
That's honestly what I thought. I actually thought, considering being bald, it could... I thought this isn't that bad, really. But yeah. And this actually holds a lot of symbolism for that meaning. It's like, you know, that second part of your life where you come through. Okay. So, you know, I shave it and keep it short.
Can you grow hair?
It never came back in full.
So that's one side effect of the chemo.
Yeah, I just thought it looks better to keep it shaved.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I actually prefer this look than the full head of hair. It's just me.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Just me personally. I think it just holds that sort of badge of...
Yeah.
That it reminds you you've been through something. This is who I am now. That's who I was before. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So hair fell out, fucking scar on your arm.
The worst thing was the eyebrows falling out, actually. That's weird.
Wait.
Everything for all hair. No eyebrows, nothing here. I'd never had a beard then, by the way, but...
Okay.
You grow the beard.
For some stupid reason, I thought, this shows how dumb I am, that the chemo is just like, yeah, it's just your hair. It's just like the top of your head and that's it. But no, it's obviously everywhere.
It's everywhere. So that was probably the thing. Like, I don't really have any... It's amazing we take so many photos today, but...
Yeah.
My brother thought, can I just take a photo of you just so we can remember? I thought, no, I'll let you take one.
Yeah.
I saw it once years later. I thought, oh my God, that's horrible to look at.
Oh,
just seeing yourself like just so sick, like no hair, no eyebrows certainly stood out.
It's a different
just nothing on you. It's just like a smooth, like no hair anywhere. Like I'm sort of, you know, chest and all that. It's just all gone.
High diver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Smooth,
just like a baby did. Yeah, just like that smooth. But it was not a good look. You're not doing well.
Yeah. So you finish up with chemo. It takes 4 months. Is that correct?
About 4 months.
And then are you still 31?
I'm still 31, yeah.
And then what happens from the end of chemo to what's the recovery like after chemo? When do you find out you don't have cancer? Or how does it work?
This was hard. Well, he goes, we'll run a test at a certain point. It might have been like 2 weeks or so after we finish chemo.
Yep. Then
we'll know if it's all clear or where do we go from there. And that was all clear. I thought, that's great. We'll move forward. This will go back to normal. But no, it took a long time. It really screws with your body and took a lot out of me. I had fibromyalgia, which is the nerve pain in the hands. Like I used to play guitar, like that like just to give an example, just too painful. It's just like the most painful thing in the world, just to like even put your fingers on the strings.
Really?
Walking felt like it's just bone on ground. Walking was painful, so everything was painful for a long time. So it was actually emotionally harder. 2013 was harder than 2012 because I thought, man, I'm so far behind. I'm not. It just done a lot to my body, and so I had a lot of issues.
Did you like weight gain or anything?
Yeah, it was a lot of. See, I was like pretty fit, like leading up late 20s before chemo, and that year I was talking about, I was really languid. Yes. Like gain weight just because you're not doing anything.
Yeah, when you
and that was just
all the time.
Weird. So when I got count, I was heavier, and I just got. They put you on some. I think it's Dexa. I'm not going to get it wrong. It's some sort of dexamethasone, dexamorph, or something like that.
Yeah, Dexies.
Yeah, it wasn't but it wasn't like, not those. But it was something that just puffs you out. And I just had like this puffed up look, and you could tell it was like it was from the drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
And I blew out, so I'd been like 92 kilos, which was really lean and fit for me, like late 20s.
Yeah.
And then I was like 164 kilos, like in 2013.
Wait, was that in a year?
Probably like that year leading up, I went to about probably like started chemo at about 120.
Yeah.
They just crept up on me.
Yeah, okay.
And then, suddenly you're like 164.
Wow.
And that's like, holy shit, how did this happen? Oh my God.
Closer to 200.
And I used to look closer to 200 than 100. Yeah. That's right. I used to look like a young guy, and then I'm suddenly like an old guy. You feel old, and you're like, how are you ever going to get rid of this? And you feel the pain in your feet,
Yeah. And you're trying to lose the weight, and you've got excruciating pain.
And I used to feel, that's the thing, this is why you should never judge, because really, I was fit all the time at 20, fitness freak for a lot of it, and then this happens and it just gets on top of you, and I think, how are you going to lose it? Like, I used to go for 15-minute walks and just, like, your bones were just killing. It was just like you couldn't walk again for another 2 days. Like, how am I ever going to catch up?
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything, and it was actually, I was so down, I thought, I'm never coming back from this. I was in such a dark place. I wasn't thinking of doing anything. I just thought, I'm so far back. And I reckon if you looked at me, anyone would have thought that. But it was weird. I was watching a documentary with Evel Knievel. Do you know Evel Knievel?
Yeah, the old school stuntman.
He's an old school stuntman. Look him up if you haven't. And he did a interview, like a 1 hour documentary hosted by Richard Hammond from Top Gear.
Oh, yes.
You know that?
Yep.
And it just, I just had this epiphany one day. Like, Richard Hammond was asking me how he dealt with all the broken bones and the pain. And I'm just dealing with pain, like, all the time, every time I walked. And he just, like, talked about how you get used to it and almost, like, embrace it. And I'm just like, fuck, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to, like, embrace the pain. I'm just, like, just going to suck it in mentally.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I see, around that time, there was a calendar my mum given me for Christmas. It said that the smallest journey starts, what is it? Like a Buddhist saying, the longest journey starts with the smallest step.
Yeah.
I thought, I just got to suck this up. This is going to take a long time. I'm just going to get in, deal with the pain. Just went out, started walking, just started building myself up. And it friggin' hurt because, like, you got that nerve damage and just dealt with it. And it took a long time. And that was like 2013 or so. I'm starting to really start dig in and, like, think I'm a long way back here. And it takes a long time. Then by the time it was like 2019, I remember getting...
Oh, really?
Yeah. I remember posting a picture on Instagram. I was 94 kilos, been lifting a lot of weight, so I was did all these muscle poses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is 70 kilos down from my top. And,
wow.
That's
pretty impressive.
That was...
That's very impressive, actually.
Yeah, it was hard work. It was...
So you went from not being able to move properly, being excruciating pain, to losing 70 kilos.
Yeah, and I was 38 at that point, and for 38, that was...
Yeah, fuck. Fuck. I'm 33 and I'm like...
and then COVID came, and I came, like, a bit back. Wait,
so 2019...
I was 38, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you went into COVID times.
Yeah, which I dealt with fine, because...
You're alive, aren't you?
Yeah, because I knew it was the people that are vulnerable are people that are going through chemotherapy. They're one group, and I thought about, imagine if I was going through this when COVID was going on, all the hassle. That's why we were doing that, because we didn't want it going around. The more it got around, the people... Because I remember when I was having chemotherapy, the oncologist said, you wouldn't want to be taking the train just for flu and that, because it's going to interfere with the whole process. It'll just get your body down when it's already run down. And this was when COVID was around. And I wasn't taking the train anyway, because you just when you're home, you're sleeping. So I'm thinking how hard you'd have to have the extra pressure of COVID going through. And then some people don't want to wear masks or make the small sacrifice. Yeah. And I'm locked up in the house, and I'm thinking, I'm locked up in the house. I've done this before. Yeah. I've done this before feeling like absolute shit, but at least I can do things. I'm feeling fine. I realise we're doing this for the right reasons. Yeah. And it really got to me just how people you could tell. They're the ones that have been through no adversity in life, did not cope with it well, just made it all about them. Pissy little arguments, wouldn't put on a mask, and they shit me. And the ones that generally were pretty understanding about it, I noticed that people that had also been through a lot of adversity understood it and coped with it well. And I'm not saying it's easy. I know a lot of people went through a lot of hard stuff. I did as well. It wasn't easy on anyone, just living at home stuck, as well. But I mean, everyone suffered, but I'm just saying, I've been through a lot, so it builds a lot of resolve in you. Yeah, a lot of, I suppose, stoicism to a point where you've been powerless and you realise that. I think that's what COVID made people realise.
Yeah, 100%.
You're not, but some people didn't deal with it well. They just wanted to go freaking crazy and mental. Like, you're not in control of your life.
Yeah, everything's taken away, but it's like, well, at least you're healthy.
Yeah, that's right.
You're sitting at home watching Netflix with Wi-Fi.
That's right. That's the thing I realised now.
Yeah.
It's like in the hospital now, it was just...
nothing.
Yeah, so at least you've got entertainment. And so I always look at the bright side of everything and just, save everything. Because one day it'll come. We are all going to go one day. You never know when it's going to be. So you're sort of mindful that we have this infinite amount of time, so we just got to be thankful. And
so do you... Sorry to cut you off, but... Because of that mindset now of you went through a fucking shit time, do you live sort of like, I need to do this, I need to do that because, time is fleeting and stuff like that? Or are you so quick once you're healthy and stuff to just get back to unbulletproof? Once COVID finished and people are like, yeah, we're good, we're all sweet. COVID's still around, but we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're back to normal. Are you, is your mindset ever changed to be like, nah, I could do that next year, or do that tomorrow, whatever it might be, or do you still seize the day type of thing?
You have times, and you be honest, I'm not, because you just fall back into regular routine in life.
Sure.
You become like how you are, but sometimes you got to realise, hey, there was a time where I didn't have the opportunities where I just couldn't do anything because you couldn't. Now I'm able to do, like doing comedy and that.
Yeah,
so I'm like thinking, let's get back into it. And it's funny, it's only when I moved back to the city, there's something, it just sort of, life moved on. It was just something I wanted to do again. I thought, just started going to shows because I lived in Collingwood and just there's so much around. I thought, well, I forgot about this. Let's just get back in and do it. I mean, I should. So now there's sort of, do it because you want to do it, but there's also not that sort of
urgency, maybe.
Well, the thing is, when I get up on stage now,
I
know what you said. There was one time it didn't go well, but you said you sort of came across as though I was confident.
Yes,
Because when I did it back in the day, I was just like a deer in the headlights.
Yes.
That was like I was just like and that was obviously holding me back.
That is a great point because you've gone through real adversity.
Yeah.
Like, I get up on stage, don't do well, and I'm like, well, this sucks, I'm fucking out, this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. But you know that there's worse things than bombing on stage.
I know, well, that's...
You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, hey, this isn't that fucking bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I used to have this barrier that I used to do workshops with, I remember like Dave Tolk and people like that back in the day. And I do it, and like you just go like, oh, when you get up there, you just freeze. And I do it, and it just became like that mental blockage in your head. Like sometimes, batsmen have it, in any sport. And it just became a thing I couldn't overcome it. Then I thought, fuck, I'm fucking up again. I'm just freezing. But now I'm sort of like, once I got back into it, I've just sort of been getting back into the groove, and I don't fear it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm A-bomb, and it is what it is. I'm going to try to do my best, but
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and it's funny because out of the ones I've done, like most of them, I'm not saying I'm setting the world on fire, but they're gone way better than the ones did back then.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And some of the material I'm doing is actually the same.
Yeah.
But just goes better now because you walk up and you just...
You're confident.
You walk up and you shit yourself. The audience sees that. If you don't believe in yourself, they're not going to believe in you, as we know. So
just believe in me.
Yeah, so it's just lived experience and just having that, which all comes together in a lot of facets of life, and I suppose doing comedy.
Yeah, for everything now, you've gone through shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now you can be like, this is easy compared to chemo.
That's right.
Fuck.
It's also just stay in the moment. I think when you're back doing it, no matter, even back then when you're just starting off, you're thinking, you're comparing yourself to other people.
Yes.
You just got to be like, I think I used to get so anxious about stuff I shouldn't have worried about. You should have just been yourself, run your own race.
Yep.
So now you realise stuff that's all cliche, but now you really realise it. You just got to not have the anxiety, just do the best you can.
Yeah.
Not compare yourself to others, just get out there and do it. And I think that has made a difference, and it has gone way better than what it did back then.
Yeah. So just to recap, because we are finishing up soon. Cancer 2012.
Yep.
Chemo's finished in 2012.
Yep.
But then 2013 is just fucking shit because...
Into 2014 around that time.
Yeah, you've gained heaps of kilos, but the main thing is...
Pain, everything. Yeah. I had a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's the issue.
I mean, it's a poison you're putting into your body, but it's the lesser of two evils. It's an evil drug. Like I say, I got this scar on my arm.
Yes.
That's because they missed the vein for about 30 seconds and they just started eating away at the flesh.
Oh, I thought it was from just repeated spots put in. But
no, this one there, it's actually sort of eating out the muscle.
So they put the chemo goo into your muscle.
Yeah, for a short amount of time.
And it burnt away their flesh.
And that was a short amount of time. So that just shows you that is toxic stuff they're putting into you. So
wow.
You're going to have a lot of... So, I mean, if you look up on websites, I imagine people do, and I did at the time, just the issues you have coming out of that. You don't just have chemo and just be like normal.
Yeah.
Maybe some people do. Some people probably do, but like...
Footy players for some weird reason.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, back in 6 weeks, you're like, what the fuck, mate?
My advice, to anyone, if you have because I was saying I didn't have a regular GP at the time.
Yes.
If you can just keep in contact, because that can save you a lot of... if I had got it picked up earlier, I may not have... Who knows, I would have had less chemotherapy.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of it, and that's going to...
And you were crook for a year.
I took a toll. I mean, to be honest, I've never felt the same as what I did before that. Never.
Oh, really?
But it's also because I'm older now.
Yeah, okay.
But I think it's just, I'm really happy and just to feel how far I've come. But yeah, it was never like, you can remember how you were at 28 and it was like, it's...
Yeah, I suppose at the same time, as you said, you are definitely older as well. In your
thank you.
No, more like,
you're definitely older.
You're not going to bounce back as quick, you know what I mean? If you get crook in your mid-20s, you're obviously going to bounce back quicker than...
I was only 31 there, and it just sort of felt like it aged me, because it did. I mean, it's putting a lot of stress in your body. You just felt older. Yeah, I was like this young looking dude.
Losing your hands, I was looking at it.
Yeah, I was like mid-20s and still getting asked for ID, and I look younger than what I was. I wish I looked older. Then all of a sudden you're like...
You shouldn't fucking make wishes, mate.
Yeah, I know. The thing, I'm like 40. What am I? What's the year? 2023? Got to work it out. Born in 81. 42.
Yeah.
I actually don't look much different than when I was 30 in a way, because this is a positive.
Yeah.
I think bald guys just look the same forever. Thesis.
Hey, so do fat guys with beards.
Yeah.
Someone.
I'm arguably in that category.
Yeah. I mean, at least you can just go. I used to have cancer. Mine's like I love KFC. What we'll finish up on this. What do you think is the biggest thing that came out of having cancer? Did it change your personality?
Yeah, it did.
Resilience? What do you think?
It did. Resilience. Just having that positive outlook. There's all that cliche stuff that you I was like a real sceptical that's all stupid. But it is true. It's just having that resolve.
Yeah. So you can get through it.
I believe what a lot of it is, it's it builds self-esteem in a way, because if you really go through something like that and come through, and this is what I was told by doctors and everyone, I just coped with it really well. I was very matter of fact, just got to get on with it, never cried, never worries me, it just is what it is, that's just how it goes. and just realised that I did cope with something that intense really well and came through the other side. Just gives you the confidence to go forward. Like something like stand-up comedy, it's relatively easy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying like...
No, I get what you mean.
Just the fact of getting up, it's a really hard thing
You're
to do.
not going to die.
Yeah, but getting up on stage, people just have that. There's probably a lot of good comics out there that just can't make the leap to get up on stage.
Yeah.
But at least, I'm just covering the camera. But at least, just getting up on stage is easy.
Yeah.
People might think you're shit, and they do, and they tell me, but hey.
And that was the confidence.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Mum.
Yeah.
But
No, that's, I mean, this has been super insightful. Because I said to you before coming on, I think I said to you, like, when you first told me, like, a few months ago, because I haven't known you for that long, let's be honest.
About 3-4 months,
Yeah, and I said, like, I don't think I've ever spoken to someone in depth about cancer. Like, I've had always been weirdly morbid curiosity towards it, but never had the opportunity. So I do thank you, and I think the main thing, what Joel's been saying, is maybe a regular GP is fucking the way to go.
Yeah, and they're hard to find, but I think if there is something going on, like if something's weird, get it checked out.
Yeah.
And it gets drummed into you. We see the ads on TV.
Yeah,
I'm saying someone that's lived it, and especially with guys, we just don't do that. It's not even a pride thing. There is a pride thing, we're tough and all that. But it is also, we just don't think of it. We're just not as mindful about it. You just sort of need to be.
Should be right. Mentality, yeah.
Save yourself a lot of grief and just be one GP appointment, run some blood tests, and I'll pick some things up.
Yeah, just be honest.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, mate. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Tait. Been a pleasure.
It has been extremely insightful.
I love all the fancy equipment. It's looking great.
Yeah. You said before it looked like the casting couch, so...
Oh, yeah, it was.
Sticking to that theme.
Yeah, the things I had to do to get on this podcast, I won't talk about, I'm not proud of them, but, anything to be here.
They were darker than...
That's the next podcast.
That's the one that ruined you. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have social media you want to plug or anything like that?
Oh, it's huge. My social media,
Yeah.
Get on board with all the millions of people. Or is it just Joel David Fleming, at Joel D Fleming on Twitter and Instagram? That's just riveting stuff.
Oh, you do stuff on Twitter and stuff, I know that. So I'll definitely put it in the links and stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in once again. As I always say, if you ever want to send me a message to say anything, please do. This has been episode 52 with Joel Fleming. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.